when you watch the 49ers between the 20s, or honestly any time before they enter the red zone, they are one of the best offenses in the NFL. Like statistically across the board, we are talking their floor is 7th or 8th overall. And these are meaningful statistics like moving the ball, explosive plays, being consistent on a down-to-down basis. But for whatever reason, when they enter the red zone, they lack identity. And there's play calling issues. There's leaning on players who I probably wouldn't lean on, at least over and over again. You can see on this play, they have a quarterback who can create out of structure and move the ball on first down. So I want to dig into the red zone and kind of see what exactly is going on with this team. So let's get into that. So the good news is, as the season has been progressing, Kyle Shanahan has been evolving his run game, and this is a great example. Like there's an insert block with a fullback, and they're coming from different angles. If we watch the quote-unquote fullback who is lined up as a tight end here, Kyle Juszczyk is going to come across the formation, and he's going to insert himself and make sure that he cuts off the defensive tackle. The problem is, when they do these creative run designs, they are putting 44 in a hell of a bind, and he has to make some very difficult blocks. And as you can see here, him against a 300-pounder is not great. And it's just a very difficult block to execute. So running the ball on first down is something that Kyle Shanahan really leaned on in this game specifically. So early on in the game, he ran on first down time and time again. The first 4 carries that they ran on first down inside of the Seahawks territory went for a total of 10 yards. To me, it feels like Shanahan handcuffed the offense in a sense, knowing all of the weapons that they have. Okay, so second down, and it's 2nd and goal, obviously. They are from, the 7-yard line, we'll call it. 2nd and goal from the 7, need 7 yards. When the 49ers operated last year at their best, at max capacity, at Avenger level, is when they were empty. But this player was Christian McCaffrey, and defenses don't respect Jordan Mason the same way that they do Christian McCaffrey. That's no slight on Mason, who is a very good player, but he's not Christian McCaffrey. So they're not getting the same type of gravitational pull that they would, especially down here in the scoring zone. So on 2nd down, empty it out. Love this idea, right? So that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, like one of these 4 should win. So if we look at the concept here, how it plays out, it's going to be high-lows all across the board. So Juwan Jennings is going to run this deep corner route. Jordan Mason, I believe he runs a return route. So he's going to act like he's going one direction, and then he's going to come back out. Yep, so that's pretty much covered. They got 3 over 2 over here. On the right side, you have Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk's going to run an out route to the front of the end zone, and then Deebo's going to run the deep corner to the back pylon. George Kittle's going to be isolated here, and he's going to have a 2-way go. If we watch Purdy and Kittle for now, Purdy is watching Kittle, and he thinks, based on, remember the concept, right? Knowing that Deebo is going to clear out, he has a 2-way go, so he's probably going to take the defender with him. Purdy looks like he's expecting Kittle right now to break out. He doesn't. So he has to come off the read. And these is where choice routes are kind of tricky, because if it's on time, 1, 2, 3, he breaks out, Kittle catches it, probably turns up and scores. But that's not what he read, and that's okay, right? That's just part of football. That is the game. So Purdy comes off his first read, goes to his next read, which is down here, and whoever he's reading, he's probably reading the cornerback, honestly. If the cornerback sits, he can throw underneath. Mason is not McCaffrey, which again, no shade to him. It's just he's not going to have the same level of effectiveness. Purdy gets a little bit of pressure, gives Mason a chance, and it's an incomplete pass. What I saw live on the screen was, in real time, this out route was wide open. And if you just watch Ayuk, on the break, he has 22 already. He's wide open in the NFL right there. He has 22 stumbling out of his break. Look at that. And in my opinion, and some people on social media said the reason Brock didn't throw this was because he had pressure in his lap. There are so many examples of Purdy making far more difficult throws than this with players in his lap. Actually, I can point to one in this game specifically where he's basically throwing a fadeaway. But if we're looking at this from, hey, I'm going to hone in on Brandon Ayuk on this play. 1, 2, 3, throw it right now. He'd be able to avoid both of these players but that's not where Brock looks. So the point's kind of moot in that sense. But for what it's worth, last year, no player, no duo, I should say, had a higher completion percentage and generated more EPA per play on out routes than 13 and 11. You know that we're going to come back to an out route because we saw how Kittle scored. So I'm sure Shanahan and the coaching staff saw the same thing that I just pointed out. And they've been living on these out routes for a year and a half now. So just, again, something that when you're watching these games, when you're watching football, there's so much that goes into these plays, so many what ifs, that it makes it fun to break it down after the fact. Okay, so now it's 3rd and 7 after the incomplete pass. Bottom of the screen, you're going to have Brandon Ayuk run up and across the middle. What he's really trying to do is pick this defender off. Kyle Juszczyk to the bottom of the screen. He's going to run a now slant. He's going to take one step and come across the field. Trio here. So you got Kittle, you have Debo, you have Jennings. Kittle's going to curl up at the front of the end zone. Jennings is going to get behind him and run a post, so another high-low concept. And Debo is going to wheel around and run a fade. So on 3rd and 11, the play call, by the way, the formation, again, like when they go empty, they are very difficult to defend, so I understand the thought process there. But the play call here, when it's 3rd and goal and you need to make a play, you have to get in the end zone, is a fade to Debo Samuel the highest probability play that you can come up with? Absolutely not. The issues that I have on this play are the lack of outs that Purdy has. So, okay, Purdy's looking right. He's looking right. A lot of congestion here. So, Juwan Jennings gets hung up pretty good by the press. They have 2 guys on Kittle, looks like, but obviously he's trying to work through the trash. A lot would have to go right for Debo to catch this. And I just think, based on what we've seen, based on what you'll see over the course of this breakdown too, is that Debo is not really somebody who's winning one-on-one. There are other players on this team who are, but I don't think one is one of those options. Again, just the probability of you being able to complete this on 3rd and goal seems low. And if Purdy didn't like what he saw here, based on the routes we saw, where else is he going to throw the ball? I think if you go back to like juice to the bottom here, it would have to be like now, and even then, he's coming down, he's right on his tail, so not a lot of outs on this play, so I would go thumbs down here on the 3rd and goal play. Again, quarterback gives Debo a chance, which is all you can ask for, right? But they don't come up with anything, and they have to settle for a field goal. All right, you just got a gift of all gifts. So Darrell Luter just forced a fumble, and this is right after Debo scored on the 76-yarder. So you have a chance to go up 17-0, really put the game out of reach. And technically, this isn't a red zone opportunity, but anything inside of 30 is considered a scoring zone. So like these are opportunities you have to convert. And I'm not talking about against the Seahawks, because like who knows if the Seahawks make the playoffs. When I'm doing these, I'm thinking in terms of like the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, the upper echelon teams in the NFL. Okay, so here we go. 3rd down, ran the ball twice, 1 yard gain, 5 yard gain. So it's 3rd and manageable. It's 3rd and 4. If we just look at protection wise here, everybody does a good job. Who takes the most dangerous man, I should say. Quarterback's responsible for the extra rusher, but Seattle has a good call on, and they drop both of their interior guys. So actually they drop a D tackle, and I believe that's a linebacker. So that's going to take away the middle of the field. And what that's doing is taking away, again, the initial read. So schematically, what the 49ers are trying to do here is they're trying to have Debo again, one-on-one. And it's 3rd down, and they're hoping that Debo is the guy who wins. So Debo's going to run the shallow cross. First window's taken away. Juwan Jennings is going to follow him. Nowhere really to go there. And then Kittle on the backside, Kittle is on the front side. He's going to run about a 10, 12-yard curl and come back to the ball. But by that time, all of the routes are cooked. Not much he could do there. Again, like the outs. This is 3rd down, and there are really no outs, nowhere for Brock to go. I think you can just hat tip Seattle on this play. But if we're just thinking of schematically, right? Let's act as if there wasn't a protection breakdown and Seattle didn't bring more than the 49ers had to block. Brock doesn't have many outs here because the $120 million receiver is running a dummy route and he's just running off. Okay, so now you're telling me it's a one-man route. Like the scheme is a one-man route. You're asking one to win over the middle, and because of what Seattle does, they're able to take him away, and now the whole play's cooked, right? So you go from the opportunity to go up big after a game-changing touchdown, and you just run, and then you don't get much on third down. I know that has to be frustrating. From the end zone view here, let's see who ended up falling off. Was it... Oh, 2D tackles. Wow. 2D tackles fall off. Both linebackers rush. Both edge rushers rush. Safety comes free. Again, the blocking is not bad here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they bring more. Doesn't help that. Get a double team here. Again, good scheme by Seattle, so they fall off, manipulating the pass pro rules by the 49ers. Brock does a great job here, as he tends to do, of avoiding the free rusher. That is actually very athletic. So, makes him miss, spins out of it, and there's really nowhere to go. The only way is if Brock's looking back over the middle, but that feels like you're really reaching and you're really asking for it. This was not part of the progression at all, to look back over the middle as you're running for your life when 1, 2, 3 Seahawks defenders are barreling down your throat. Yeah, good luck there. So, again, I think that's just more of a hat tip to Seattle. All right, back in the red zone, third time. There are sometimes some plays you call expecting to go well, and then there are anomalies. And on this play, how many times since he's been a 49er has a rep ended up like this for Trent Williams? 99 just throws him out of the way, just chucks him. Again, never happens, right? Like maybe 1, 2 examples you could think of, but losing like that? No way. So first down run. It's blocked up very well. Banks reaches his guy. Tight end, Eric Saubert. Seals him. Oof. Honestly, if Garindo, if he bounces this, right, if he stays on track, well, he's assuming that he's going to run there because that's where his back is. So never mind. Yeah, it's there. If everything goes according to plan, Garindo has a one-on-one with the safety coming down, and maybe he makes a miss and maybe he scores, but you never get there. And now another first down run. Not the play caller's fault. This time, your soon-to-be Hall of Famer missed a block. Okay, second down, second and long. So, let's talk through the play here. You have Kyle Juszczyk, inline tight end. He's going to come in motion. And to the bottom of the screen, you have Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Juice is going to run the return route where he's going to act like he's coming out and then come across the middle. Ayuk's going to get an inside release, and I believe he runs to the corner. To the top of the screen, you're going to have George Kittle. He's running an over-the-ball route. He's just going to sit and camp out over the ball. You're going to have Patrick Taylor. He's going to run a rail route right up the sideline like a wheel. And you're going to have Deebo Samuel in the slot here. He's going to run a shallow cross. If you watch how it plays out, again, there are no outs for the quarterback here. Second and long. Based on the scheme, based on the design, it's a great play. It's a great concept. You are hoping that this player wins one-on-one. As you can see, doesn't honor the jab outside at all. So he's square, and then from there, he can just turn and run with him, which is exactly what he does. 23 is in Deebo's hip pocket and breaks up the pass. There are no other ways, no other areas, no other outs for Brock to throw the ball to on second and long in the red zone. So if Deebo's not there, where is he supposed to throw the ball to? I think Brock does a really good job of giving Deebo a chance, but the over-the-ball route's covered, doubled, taking too long to get into his route. Probably not going to throw the return route to the fullback. And this is just to clear and isolate it out. So, like, if you go back to the scheme, right, you are taking the weak side defender out of the way. You are running off the coverage, and you are just basically hoping that he wins in a foot race across the middle. The latter does not happen, and that's how we end up incomplete, second and long. So scheme is there, but relying on a player who consistently, right? I don't think it's far-fetched to say that consistently Debo has not won in man-to-man situations, and he doesn't again. So second and long turns into third and long. And what do we get on third and long? It was a play call that I think a lot of people scratch their head. So third and long, need to get the ball into the end zone. What happens? Well, you call a fullback screen. Sure, you can make the argument that if this block is made, it's a touchdown. Again, 4 high quality level players, pass catchers on this offense. Why not give the ball to them? And then if we look at it from a blocking standpoint, they don't really ask these 3 players to get on the move much. Here's a screen. So he has to make sure that he's secure, and then by that time, he has to go get the linebacker. If you are a split second too late, this is what happens. And it turns out that he was more than a split second late, but let's look at it from the defensive perspective, right? So linebacker, tight end goes in motion. Now I have backs out to my side, back out to my side. As soon as he recognizes, oh, back's coming to my side, I'm going to go get him. That's exactly what happens. Good play, good recognition. 3rd and 11, another red zone opportunity, wasted. Okay, so Garindo just had an impressive 11-yard gain, I believe it was, to get into the red zone. So now another first down run is coming. But unlike the previous ones, this isn't static, right? Like this isn't one of those rushes where it's just run to one side. There's no movement pre-snap. So here, there's Deebo Samuel going in motion. And it's orbit motion, so he's going behind line of scrimmage. And when you see him go in motion, he is going to have the second level defenders react at all times. So they're in man coverage. So he's going with, there's going to be a flow. And what that does is it opens up that little cutback lane or Taylor to pretty much just hit it north and south. So we'll be able to look at it here from the end zone angle. Again, they ask Juszczyk to do a lot of difficult things. Here, he needs to kick out the defensive end. Does so, and it doesn't have to be like a knockout blow. Just make sure he doesn't make the play, and that's exactly what happens. And you can see that the second level flow here from the Seattle's linebackers and how they are reacting to number 1 going in motion. Good fake by Deebo. And hit it up. Put your foot in the ground. Go north and south. Get a positive gain on first down, which hasn't happened yet. So, again, the 49ers, they've been changing up their running looks as the season's gone on. And I think this is one area where they can really help themselves down to the goal line where you're the team that runs the most motion in the NFL as it is. Incorporate that in the red zone too. It doesn't just have to be between the 20s. All right, 3rd and 3. The dreaded third down in the red zone. Have not had success yet. This time, you're going to see Jauan Jennings come back in motion. He's going to follow Deebo Samuel, who's going to go across the middle. Jennings is going to follow him after that. Kittle's going to run an out route to the front of the pylon, to the front of the goal line. Brandon Ayuk's going to run the little corner route. And then Patrick Taylor's going to run an angle route back over the middle. So you can see the concept. Let's watch the top of the screen. They have eyes on this guy. Running back's not there, not looking that way. What Brock is looking at here is, so you have that, like I said, the first slant, first crossing route. That's where Brock initially wants to go, it looks like. See his hand come off the ball, but taken away. By the time that he wants to come here, like that's probably not where you're reading. So he went from here to here, which I love. As you can see out of his break, this is as wide open as it gets in the NFL. You are not going to find more separation than that, especially in the red zone. So spacing was a little clunky, between Debo and Jennings right here. This looks like they're a little too close to each other, but doesn't matter because you got one-on-one on the outside with your best red zone target, and he should get the ball a lot more than he does. So I think I want to focus on Purdy here and look at the quarterback and what he's seeing, right? So his hand comes off, that little pat right there. He's thinking, okay, I want to go to Debo. I want to go to Debo. It's covered. As soon as he comes off that, phew, that, in my opinion, was his best throw of the season. That is a top 5 level throw. Like, you are not going to find better throws than that. You can see it from this angle. That is a C. That is a dot. I think if you just watch his feet, so he's set up to throw right here, right, to one of those crossing routes. Quickly regathers himself, resets his feet, and then balls out like that. I love that. He is playing very fast. When he plays fast, they are an incredibly difficult team to beat. And that ball, DB thinks he has it, right? He's diving. He's no shot. The ball is placed perfectly where nobody else can get it besides the pass catcher. And that just happens to be 6'5", 250. Guy runs sub 4.5 40. Probably want to get him the ball. So first third down conversion happens to be a touchdown. Okay, back to the red zone. First down. Remember, there are anomalies. You can have the perfect play call on and it not work out. So if we just watch this first down run, stretch play, it looks like a positive gain, right? Well, when you rewind it, this could have been a touchdown pretty easily, honestly. So everybody blocks it up well. Going to get the wide receiver coming up, blocking the safety. It's designed to get the cornerback one-on-one with the running back, and Taylor actually does a good job of making him miss. The problem is Debo slightly overruns him. Like, he should probably be breaking down and stopping his feet now. That does not happen. So he doesn't put himself in great position. Probably want to, like, if you watch his feet need to be like shoulder length apart, right? Like you're guarding somebody in basketball. Just get a good stance. But he's a little too upright, overruns the safety, and you can see like how ticked off he is. Like, Debo's a very competitive player, competitive blocker. He competes down in and down out despite not getting the ball. Right here, if you just watch him, like, he knows. Missed one. We're going to see from the end zone angle the difference of not having Christian McCaffrey. And let's stick with the blocking here. You see McKivitz, Selbert, they do a great job. Do exactly what you want. Like, it's there. From this angle, okay. If you remember Christian McCaffrey in the red zone, right? Like, one of the things that he does very well is, like, he will act as if he's going out, and then he will cut it back. Look at the hole between the right tackle and the right guard. That is, so what McCaffrey would do here is he would, that right foot right here, boom, he's cutting upfield, going up, up, up. Ideally, because he's already engaged here, he's concerned about Debo, you cut up, and that's just a 10-yard touchdown, right? Or 15. However, Taylor doesn't see it, and this is the difference, right, between having an offensive player of the year, having the best running back, and your third string running back, your running back who is getting carries in the fourth quarter for the first time all season. So it's tough to blame Taylor in that sense. So here we go. 3rd and 4, 23-17 is, tight end 2 to the top of the screen. He's just like a dummy route, right? He's just running off. You have Kyle Juszczyk. He's going to clear out the coverage. You have running back who's going to clear out the coverage. And then what ends up happening is you have slow safety against a guy who has proven that he cannot be guarded in the red zone, one-on-one, to clear the field. Is to the top of the screen, Brandon Ayuk. We know, like, the gravitational pull that he has, defenses. Purdy's going to look right, gets the linebacker to declare. What that leaves is Kittle. Kittle's going to win that matchup every day of the week. This is a very good route. So the scheme, the design is everything you want, right? You're stretching the defense horizontally. You're pulling everybody out of the middle. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out. Get out. One-on-one with a two-way go. This shoulder shrug. Ball's out on time. Ball's accurate. Playing on time actually protects Kittle in this sense. Get a chance to see from the end zone angle. Shoulders. Really gets him to open up there quick. Fires out of there. And all that does is open up a bigger throwing lane for Purdy to Kittle in the end zone for a touchdown. Ices the game. So, again, the process is what I want to kind of talk through. When they throw it to 85, things go well. And honestly, if you think back to the out route, Ayuk was open too. So, like, there are plays and players proving that they can win over and over. I would have a hard time not throwing to him over and over and over and over and over. So we'll see if that's where the red zone offense evolves while Christian McCaffrey does remain sidelined. If, hey, I'm going to give it to George Kittle until somebody else proves they can cover him. They haven't yet, so keep that up. So that's it for the red zone, right? So they are slowly but surely turning the corner, and you have to figure out with a team with this much talent, they'll figure it out. So thanks for everybody for watching. Subscribe if you are not. Like, comment, let me know what you want to see next. I'll be back with the 49ers defense.